Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Spirit Cats deck, and this is an inspirational 48 card deck created by Nicole PR. So love the box, really pretty box, and this is probably one of the most unique decks that I own, and I own a lot of decks, and I say it's unique because for one thing it's perfectly square which is pretty cool. There's no writing on the fronts of the cards. All the writing is on the backs of the cards. So each deck, or each card in this deck, is not so much, I mean, she doesn't call it an oracle deck, she calls it an inspirational deck. So each card represents a particular cat, and each cat has a specific personality and message for you. So like this one says Majesty. Meet Majesty. She lives inside each one of us. She is the queen of the vulnerable heart, the yearning soul, and the seeking of the mind. She helps us see our majesty, helps us to honor our gifts, hone our skills, and be true to our word, etc., etc., etc. Cultivate kindness and respect towards yourself. So as you can see, I won't read, I'm not going to read every card because it would be a long video, but as you can see, each card has kind of a theme and a message, and each cat has a kind of distinct personality. So I just fell in love with this deck immediately when I saw it online, and then when I actually received it in the mail in person. It was one of those decks that when you kind of open it and start going through it, you realize that the pictures online don't really do it justice. It's actually so wonderful in person, and I mean it's gorgeous online too, which is you know why I really wanted this deck. But when you see it in person, it's even better. This one's really lovely. I think this is so cute. Vision meets Stargazer. So I use this deck, I don't use this deck for readings in the same way that I use my other decks. So normally what I do with this deck is if I'm struggling with something, or I feel like I want kind of some guidance or a message, or just to feel kind of uplifted and encouraged, I will draw a card from this deck and then kind of read the back and consider the message, and then I'll keep this card on my desk in my workspace for, you know, that day or that week, or however long I want to. This is really pretty. Guardian. So I feel like this deck would be actually perfect for people who are, you know, beginners, like new to cards, or even people who've never had cards before, because it doesn't take, you know, you don't have to know what each card means. It's not that kind of a deck. So I think that this deck would actually make a really cute gift for someone, and I think it's the kind of gift that you could give to like a young child, like not super young obviously because there's lots of writing, but it's the kind of gift you could give to someone who's younger, like a teenager or a kid, and even just someone who, you know, has never had a deck of cards before. But obviously I've been reading cards for a long time, and I really like this deck too, so I think that it doesn't really matter what your experience level is. The cards are actually very thick, like they're, the card stock is quite sturdy, and the cards have a matte finish, so they actually feel really nice to the touch. And they're full color, so the colors just pop. They're really quite lovely. There's something else I wanted to mention about this deck. I mean, obviously if you're a cat lover, you're gonna love this deck. I just love anything with cats on it. Oh, this one's cute. That one's really pretty. Obviously I'm kind of partial to black cats. So I find that this deck is nice for daily draws, and actually there's one particular card, when we get to it I'll tell you a little story. It's coming up. But how I like to use this deck is for daily draws, or I'll draw a card at the beginning of the week and then I'll keep that card on my desk for the rest of the week, just to kind of inspire me. I find this deck very uplifting. It's very cute. It has a really fun, positive vibe to it. So I find that whenever I read with this deck, I feel uplifted. And I feel like it really embodies that kind of fun, feline, frisky energy that cats have. And it's always nice to immerse yourself in that kind of energy. I think this deck would be a really good deck to use for journaling as well, because each card, it has like a little message, and I think that reading the message and then journaling about that and what it means for you in your life right now would be a really cool practice. I haven't done it myself with this deck. I've just been using this for kind of like daily draws and things like that. Oh, this guy's so cute. I think this deck would actually mix really nicely with, if you have like a cat-themed tarot. I know there's tons of cat-themed tarot decks out now. I've got a couple of them, and actually I've got 3 cat-themed decks, and 4 if I include this one. But I think that this deck would be nice, like after you do a cat tarot reading, you could draw one of these cards at the end to kind of wrap up your reading. I think it would go nicely. So I haven't yet used this deck on other people because I feel like it's not really the kind of deck that I want to use on other people. I kind of feel like it's a special deck that I just want to keep to myself, for me. And yeah, it's not the kind of deck that I feel like I want to do readings with for other people. I feel like this is just a very personal, special, sweet deck that I just want to keep for myself. Okay, so here's the card that I want to tell you the story about. So when I first got this deck in the mail, I was really stressed out because I was panicking to create, well, not panicking, but I was kind of under a deadline to create my tarot course that I was working on. And I felt like I was running out of time and I wanted more time. And anyways, I wanted to know how everything was going to go. So I drew this card, and it says trust, meet Safi. And then it kind of talks about kind of trusting in yourself and kind of trusting that everything's going to work out on your path, on your journey. And it was just kind of the perfect message that I needed to hear. And so I kept this card on my desk for the entire month that I was working on that tarot course, and I kind of looked at this card for inspiration whenever I was feeling like I was losing trust in myself. And it was really lovely. I felt like I was being supported by this cute little kitty on my desk. That's probably my favorite card in the whole deck. So yeah, I think I've come full circle. I think I've shown you all the cards now in the deck, and I feel like this deck will always have a special place on my reading altar, on my desk, or on my bookshelf. Like I said, it's a unique deck, and it has such an adorable, whimsical, kind of frisky feline vibe that is really cool. That reminds me of my kitty Merlina. So yeah, I really like this deck, and if you are a cat lover, and if you're looking for something that's kind of unique, or if you're looking for a cool gift for someone, or you're just looking for kind of a special personal deck for you to use for daily draws, this is a really, really awesome deck to check out. So I'm going to put the link, if you're interested in learning more about this deck or purchasing it, I'll put the link in my description box under this video. And it's called the Spirit Cats Inspirational 48 Card Deck by Nicole PR. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and have a lovely day.